Hey guys, Shot the Monkey here. So, I'm going to take a bit of a divergence from the usual content I put up on this channel for this particular video, in that I'm not going to talk about an aircraft in particular, but I more want to talk about World of Warplanes as a game as a whole, and more specifically the currently ongoing Flaming Shores event. In regards to the operations, the missions that you can receive that gain you premium aircraft, the operation orders. As you can see, I've got none available to me at the moment. I've completed all the ones that I currently had, and I'm waiting for the next operation to start. As you can see up there, up there by the timer. Because this is going to be a pretty boring video in regards to like just me talking quite a lot, I'll put some gameplay footage in the background of games that I've had, trying to get my operation orders completed, so you could at least have that to watch while I ramble on quite a bit, actually. So, the operation orders. First of all, let me say, I think this event and the operation orders and the new aircraft so far that I've got that have been added in to World of Warplanes are brilliant. I'm glad to see that the German bomber line has had the addition of the Ju-86 and the He-111, because I think they're two aircraft that are quite iconic when you think of the German bombers of World War II, along with the Ju-88, which you already have in game, the Dornier 17 and the Dornier 217. But there's a few things that bothered me about the operation and the missions themselves. One was specifically when I attempted to get the Dornier, I think it's 335, the field, the arrow, which was, looking through the missions, they seemed quite reasonable in regards to how difficult I expected them to be. Of course, you're getting a tier 8 premium aircraft for free. They should be quite challenging. But the one thing that disenfranchised me and made me almost just completely want to just never come back to this game for the event, or just uninstall it entirely, because of how much time I was trying to put into this to try and get it. Because for those of you who haven't seen the operation orders yet, you are limited to a 24-hour period from when you start them to when you finish them, unless you extend them with tokens. And as you can see, we're not all overabundant with tokens that we can extend the time with. But even with the option of extending the time by another 24 hours with tokens, there was a couple of things about those missions that really bothered me. Well, a couple, specifically one thing. For me, at least in the way that I understand it, the operation orders, the personal missions for aircraft like that should be personal. They should be about you. They should be about the time that you're willing to put in, and the skill that you have, and how well you know aircraft, and how well you can perform with aircraft. And that to me is what they should be about. So the missions in there for the Dornier 335, like gain 120 air kills, or gain a certain number of capture points in a single mission, or gain 6,000 capture points or whatever it was over over as many set number of games, or 10,000 points for destroying or damaging, destroying aerial targets. I think it was like 10,000 personal points for it. Those I'm fine with. The missions in particular in there that bothered me and kind of made me lose interest in the whole thing was the missions where it said you had to complete an objective in a single battle that had to be a victory. To me, saying that you have to win a game or win a battle to complete a mission ruins the whole point of them being personal missions, because at that point they're not. At that point you are in some way reliant on your team being able to win a match. And I'm not trying to do this to bash people that play the games, or to say that people on this game are rubbish, because as far as I recall, my win ratio is in the positive, so I've won more games than I've lost. But the idea that, I think specifically the mission that I'm going to mention, because I remember it specifically, was you had to take out 5 heavy fighters in a single battle and then win that battle. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but most of the games that I'm in, I see 2 heavy fighter players on the enemy team. And usually I'm in, for example, the 190A5 or the 190A8 or the Lag 34 or other aircraft like that. And taking out heavy fighters isn't the easiest thing in the world, because you have to catch them down low. And they have to be down low long enough, and you have to be in effective gun range long enough to actually get the kill of them. And you have to kill them. You can't get like a minor assist or a major assist. It has to be your kill. And usually, at least in my experience, when heavy fighters come down to low altitude, they are swarmed by fighters. Absolutely mobbed by them. as they should be, because it's rare that you ever see heavy fighters at altitude where most fighters could actually touch them, because they have good altitude performance, especially in the case of the P-38 Lightnings at Tier 5 and Tier 6. So what happened is that most of the games that I ran into where heavy fighters were around, I couldn't even get 5 kills on most of them. And the games that I did get 5 kills on them, I essentially had to just suicide rush them to do it. Which meant that I couldn't actually play the battle as intended, I couldn't play for the objectives, I couldn't help my team out. And therefore a win is less likely. Because I'm willingly having to take myself away from completing objectives to just try and get 5 kills on heavy fighters. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to put a 24-hour timer or a timer on anything like that, having victorious battles as a clause within certain missions, to me, defeats the purpose. I would be willing, as a compromise, I'd be willing to accept one or the other. If you're going to put victorious battles in as a mission clause, don't give us a timer. If there's going to be a timer, I would ask that victorious battles are not like a mission clause in there. Because to me, they should be about your personal skill. And eventually, I would get a game where, like, as I said, I could kill 5 heavy fighters in a single match. I'm not guaranteed to win that match. In fact, likelihood to get the, like I said, to get the 5 heavy fighter kills, I would have to just willingly suicide myself into trying to kill them. Even if it meant diving into the middle of their team just to try and finish them off. Because, in my experience so far for playing this event, heavy fighters are not as common as they might need to be for a mission like that to be viable. Now, of course, I'm aware not everyone would agree with me. I'm aware that my opinion might just be my own opinion. It might just be that I'm not skilled enough, not lucky enough, you know, I had bad RNG, whatever you call it, that I couldn't get those missions done. And that by the time that I thought that it was possible, I didn't have, you know, I just didn't have enough time left by the time that I was going through the missions. So I gave up on the operation, so I may never receive the DO335. Be that as it may, that's the way things go. But for me, as someone who plays this game and someone who enjoys playing this game, and enjoys that challenge of knowing, hey look, here's a 24-hour period or an 18-hour period, you know, accounting for 6 hours of sleep, where you have to dedicate all of your time to playing this game. Sure, absolutely fine by me. But they're personal missions, they're a personal objective. It's not something that you receive as a team, it's something that you specifically have received from a supply crate that you have earned or you have bought. It's something that you have gone out of your way to get. And it's a reward that you should be able to get. And the idea that you have to be in a victorious battle to achieve objectives takes away from that. Because your team isn't going to care about you getting a personal objective completed or a mission for your personal objective completed. Your team isn't going to care about you wanting to earn a Tier 8 premium aircraft for free. So they're not going to go out of their way to get you a win just because you want an aircraft. In the same way that they shouldn't expect you to go out of your way to get them a win if they want to complete the mission. As much as this game is a 15 on 15 fight and it's about teamwork, the kind of coordination you would need to get that, I don't think is possible in random battles. It's possible in flights, but not all of us are lucky enough to have a flight every single time an operation order turns up. We're not all lucky enough to have someone as a friend or someone in a clan that's willing to put that much time into World of Warplanes to help you get a mission. Another issue which this brings into the argument is that something that was quite prevalent for World of Tanks and some of the rewards for World of Tanks, at least the last 2 missions, was mission fixing or match fixing, which I believe Quickie Baby spent at least one video on, maybe a couple actually, where there was times where the European server was quite quiet and the queues were quite small and there wasn't a lot of people playing, so what you'd have is clans of people, groups of people or friends that would all queue on to a match together. And regardless of what team they were on, if they were in the same match, they'd all go off to one side and try and help each other complete missions and completely ignore the game and the objective of the game, and actually not even play, just to try and fix missions so they could get reward vehicles that they couldn't complete otherwise. And that's another thing that I think that if you start making missions that require victorious battles, you know, 5 heavy fighter kills in a victorious mission. Okay, so you wait until, you know, it's quiet on the European server, North American server where you happen to be, and you and your friend both log on, and you go in whatever aircraft you're in, and your friend goes in a heavy fighter, and every time you're in a game, he just feeds himself to you. So you get 5 kills, he isn't contributing to his team, so his team is less likely to win, and you can still contribute to your team and to winning for your side, knowing full well that every time he respawns as a heavy fighter, he can come and get himself killed by you. And then if you get a couple of kills on the other random heavy fighter or random 2 heavy fighters, however many that happens to be in the mission, you know, easy wins. And through that, they will complete missions that someone like me can't, because either I'm not willing or I'm not able to have someone do that for me. And again, I think that just completely invalidates the achievement. What's the point of you like spending all this time trying to earn a tier premium account, like not tier premium account, tier premium plane, if someone else with a couple of friends can be a scumbag about it and cheat his way through the missions? So it's just a couple of things that, having tried to get there and failed on the Dornier 335, but having tried to get there and actually got there for the JU86, HS129, I happen to have the JU86 on my North American account as well. I'm hoping to get the HU111 on either of them at some point. You know, it's just, is it worth it? And at the moment, I'm finding, at least with the tier 8s, specifically with the Dornier 335 and probably with the Vampire, if I get that it probably won't be. Because the missions require that I must win a battle. And I'm not in a position where I can choose if my team wins or loses. I can influence it, certainly. But the amount of times where one person will carry a team to victory, especially in a game like World of Warplanes, is not that common. In fact, I think it's far easier to do it in World of Tanks than it is here. Because in World of Tanks, you have the thing of not every tank can damage every other tank. But in World of Warplanes, every aircraft can damage every other aircraft. So you're far more vulnerable to the enemy team taking you out than you are in World of Tanks, which means you're far less able to carry. That's my opinion. And that's what I'm going to conclude on. So I'm happy for you guys to like this video if you agree with me, dislike it if you don't agree with me, or, you know, even just type in the comments what you think, you know, what you, in response to my points, or if you have any of your other points that you want to make of your own, or your own opinions or your own comments on it. Maybe some of you have been more successful than I have. Maybe you've earned the Dornier 335 or the Vampire through the Flaming Shores mission operations. Maybe you have to extend the mission a few times over the 24-hour period. Maybe you didn't. I just want to make a discussion, that's all. I just wanted to voice my comments, voice my opinions, you know, make a couple of suggestions, get my feelings out there, and see what happens. And I hope you guys do comment either on the comment section of the YouTube video itself, or on the forum post I'm going to make with this video in it. But as always, guys, thanks very much for watching. I will see you all next time.